Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting. My name is Carl Froch. You know what I've done, where I've been. Today I'm delighted to be joined by the legend, Ricky the Hitman Hatton.
Thank you. Cheers,
I actually
mate.
grew up watching. There's not much difference in us in age. But I can remember not even being a professional boxer watching
difference
you.
in weight, isn't
watching you. I'm going to mention, listen, mate, you're in good shape. You're looking good. I've seen you hitting that bag for about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You still have a go, don't you? As well?
Trying to do my best, mate. Yeah.
But anyway, I always try and get 12 rounds in. We've done it before. We've done it online, but it's nice to be face to face. Up close and personal. There's no trick questions in here. Fast fire rounds. Round one, ding ding. What's the favourite thing for you about boxing?
The crowd, the roar of the crowd. Yeah.
Well, you had the best crowd in the business, didn't you?
Yeah.
The Mancunian followers, mate.
Loved it. You know, them trips over to Vegas when we went over in the draw was 40 and 30,000 fans. Yeah, my greatest achievement.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't do was fight in Vegas. I fought in America, but I was like the poor man's Vegas. I was at Atlantic City. It's like Blackpool on steroids. Well, I think that's one of your gags, actually. Well, you was in Vegas, the real deal, and you filled that place. Would you prefer to fight in Manchester with the crowd you had, or would you prefer to be travelling out in Vegas? Because they followed you anyway, didn't they?
My fight against Costa, which, brought me to fruition, if you like, and opened the doors for the Vegas fights.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think I'd love fighting in Manchester in front of my home crowd. It's a bit of an equal 50-50 for me because, we watched all our heroes fight on the strip of Las Vegas, saw the name up in lights. So when you see yours up in there in lights, it's mad, it's very surreal.
I never saw my name up in the lights in Vegas. Unfortunately, you know what, that was the one box.
The only thing you didn't do.
It was the one box, it's one box I didn't tick.
And
after that fight at Wembley Stadium in front of all them people, I was thinking,
there?
You know how many was there? That's one of the questions, actually. We'll come to that in a minute. Anyway, round two. What's the worst thing about boxing?
For me, it was dieting.
Dieting, yeah.
I think the worst thing in boxing is when you work hard and you don't perform and you don't get the decision.
You feel like you let yourself down.
Yeah, you feel like you let yourself down, and especially when the kids come along and the family come along, everything has a lot more importance, doesn't it? But
no, it's horrible getting beat. I've been beat myself. When you lose, it does.
Yeah, but I'm very proud to say when I did get beat, I come back, and still won world titles. When I came back from my defeat, and that's what a champion's about. You find out, legacies are built on coming back from defeat.
Absolutely.
I
was talking to Amir Khan last week, and he said something interesting. He said it's a love-hate relationship with boxing.
Yeah.
Because you love it, and the accolades when you win, the euphoria, the natural feeling.
Yeah.
But then when you get beat, the downsides are horrible, aren't they? Horrible.
Yeah.
And retiring as well.
Yeah.
When you retire, you're thinking.
It's well documented. When I retired, my head fell off. I thought something I've been doing all my life since I was a nipper, and then all of a sudden, what do I do now? It was hard, very hard for me.
Yeah.
Some can retire happy, but for me, it wasn't. It was a bad time.
I think having my kids and working for Sky as well, because being on Sky Sports and being ringside and seeing it all, that kind of kept me out of the ring.
Yeah.
That kind of gave me my fix. Yeah. But having kids as well, but I still miss it even now. I still miss it. Anyway, round three. Who's your top three British boxers in the last 25 years? So 2000 onwards, your personal top three.
I'd say Joe Kawasaki, Lennox Lewis,
Kawasaki, Lewis. Who did you watch coming through?
Nigel Benn. Nigel Benn was my hero. Nigel Benn was my hero coming through. Yeah. I wanted to be like Nigel. Because when I was just getting into boxing, that was the Ben Eubank era.
Of course it was.
And Watson. I think Michael was probably the better of the three of them, but Nigel and Chris made each other, wasn't he? Because they had that rivalry and that, but Michael Watson, I think, was probably the better of the two. He just didn't. He was the quiet man, wasn't he? Didn't quite have the charisma or the personality or the style. But I think he might have been the better one of the three.
When was his last fight? I'm not sure when Nigel Benn's last fight was. Was it 2000 onwards? I'm not sure. But we'll take them as your top three.
Yeah.
Right, round number 4. Favourite thing about Manchester?
The people.
The
people, you know what I mean? You've boxed at the Manchester Arena yourself, to be honest with you, I mean? Just,
Bad night for me, that was.
No,
I got the win, though, somehow. Howard Foster, shout out to Howard Foster. Was that fight stopped too early or not?
It depends, that's boxing for you. It's a mixed bag. Have 50% of people who say it was stopped too early, 50% say it wasn't. It was what it was.
What do you think?
No, I don't think so.
George Groves, you're listening. Hitman Hatton, it wasn't stopped too early. Get that in your fucking head, because he can't seem to get over it. Even now when I talk to
Sorry,
him.
George. Sorry.
He's done that for my benefit, hasn't he, Ricky? But no, great fight in Manchester. That was the crowd.
Yeah, and the fans, you know, I mean, whether it be the football, whether it be the boxing, you know what I mean, you box at that Manchester arena, it was just always special for me.
Yeah.
Not just being a Mancunian, I think it ended up being like, when you think of all the champions that have fought there over the years, it was like it turned into like a British Madison Square Garden.
No, it did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
My missus is from Liverpool, and Liverpool and Manchester have got a bit of beef, haven't they?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Kind of, but back in, I never fully got it, but...
Yeah.
What's football team do you support? That's not one of the questions. What is your football team?
That's
I know who it is.
City,
yeah. Okay. I won't make you answer that one. Right, if it kicks off in a bar, say you're stood in the bar and you're thinking it's on top now, he's looking at me funny, there's 3 or 4 of them, and you're thinking, I know you can handle yourself, but what 3 fighters do you want by your side to help you out?
The ex-missus.
The ex-missus. We need a picture of the ex-missus. I'll get on to my producer.
Oh yeah, she's dangerous. No, I think Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson. When he was back in his heyday. I mean, not just. I went out with him a couple of times socially with a couple of friends that I had in Las Vegas at the time and that. And if he kicks off in the club, it doesn't matter how many Dolman there is. Nothing's happening, is it? So I'd probably say Mike Tyson.
He didn't try against Jake Paul, did he?
Pardon?
He didn't try.
No, I don't think Jake Paul tried against him down the home straight.
Fair enough. That's fair enough.
They should have just made it an exhibition.
Yeah.
I don't mind exhibitions. I've done one, but I mean, don't sell it, charge each other off
exactly.
the earth, and then bill it as a proper fight when it was an exhibition.
When it is what it is. Yeah. So you got Mike Tyson, 2 more.
I'd probably say Lenny McLean.
Lenny McLean, yeah?
Yeah, when he was good scrap, yeah.
Not messing around.
Yeah.
One more?
One more. Roberto Duran. Hands of stone for nothing, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was ferocious, yeah.
Roberto Duran comes up quite a lot, and he's only a small guy as well, but he's he's got your back.
There was a reason why he was hands of stone, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Geez.
Eubank Jr, Conor Benn, who wins?
A lot of people are favouring, seems lately at the minute, favouring Eubank, aren't they? And I get why they've done it, because I mean, let's have it right. Conor's not boxed anyone near Chris's potential, and when you think who Chris has beaten Billy Joe Saunders, at that level, I mean that's at his own weight. So to jump up 2 weights and to fight someone like Chris, it is a massive ask. But I'm quite close to to Nigel and Conor and. I think in his last couple of fights he's not quite as explosive as he previously has done. But in fact that he's not boiling down, he's moving up in weight, and then Chris has to boil down that little bit extra. That'll help Conor. But I just know because I know him personally, the desire and the self-belief and the drive that he has. He has this real will not be denied type of drive, like his dad, to be honest with you. And
really
I'm thinking that might just. And Chris has been, stopped. He's boiling down in weight. Last time he, don't forget the fight with Conor fell through. Yeah. And then he ended up, he was boiling himself down, and then he fought Liam, and I think that's why he got knocked out.
Because
he was boiling himself down, which is what he's doing again. So I'm going to go with my mate Conor. Yeah.
Fair enough. Who's the nicest person in boxing? In your opinion?
The nicest person in boxing, I would probably say Anthony Crolla.
Anthony Crolla's a great shot. He's proper nice guy, isn't he?
He's just too nice to be a boxer. Every time you see him, hiya Rick, how you doing, mate? How's the kids? Oh, lovely, great, smashing. You feel like fucking crying.
Interviewing Anthony Crolla here. That is Anthony Crolla off to the team, but he is properly nice guy.
He's a proper top guy, yeah.
Who's the biggest knobhead in boxing?
Oh, God blimey. Who's the biggest knobhead in boxing? Yeah, probably Jake Paul.
Is he in boxing? I suppose he is in boxing. He's trying, isn't he?
I suppose so. But I mean, to be honest with you, is he? He's a good businessman. I think we'll all go with that. But I mean, how can you, I think he puts on events, doesn't he? And he's a good businessman and stuff like that. But I can't see how it's good for boxing. If you ask me, kids coming up now, do you want to be a world champion or do you want to be famous and earn a load of money? They'd rather be famous and earn a load of money than be a world champion.
Yeah, of course.
And it's because of people like fucking Jake
Because
Paul.
of him, yeah, fair
You know
enough.
what I mean?
Biggest
You know what
knobbhead
I mean?
in
No, good
boxing,
luck,
Jake
good
Paul.
luck, yeah.
Ricky Hatton told you straight down the pipe, so you've got to take it.
Can't back me.
I've got his back. Usyk versus Parker or Usyk versus Dubois? Which one do you want to see more?
I'd like to see Usyk versus Daniel, because I think he had hard times last time. There's that controversy about the low blow, wasn't it? And, you know, when you see what Daniel's done, you know, he had his defeat against Usyk, and then he had his defeat, didn't he, against Joe Joyce, and, you know, and I think people thought, well, you know, but he came back against AJ, didn't he? He thought Usyk give a good performance.
He
then,
did, yeah.
Then his best performance against AJ, you know, so he's... You know, he's not. He could have chucked the towel in, thought this boxing's not for me after a couple of them defeats, but he hasn't. And look at him now; he's absolutely flying. You know, so I'd probably say Dubois versus Usyk, but I hope Joe Parker gets his shot, because Joe Parker is on the best run he's had. You know, for really the last 2 years.
And he climbed
you know
off the canvas against Zhang,
and you think, you know, when's he going to get his shot?
Yeah.
And I hope he gets it soon, mate.
Yeah, I think he needs another shot, definitely. Did you? Next question. Talked about that knobhead, fake Paul. He's called out Anthony Joshua. What do you make of that?
It's
more bollocks.
I don't know. You know, to be honest with you, the thing is box. There should be someone that, if someone said to me, "Do you want to fight Jake Paul?" I'd fight him.
Yeah.
But but it needs to be taken out of our hands. You know, when Jake Paul says, "I'll fight a 58-year-old Mike Tyson," you know, what's Mike going to do? I'll give you 20 minutes. Yeah, of course I'll fight him. Someone should be step in and say no. You can't do that. You're 58. Right. He's 20. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what the trouble is with boxing at the minute. To be honest with you, you know, they need to. What happened to rankings? Yeah. You know, they're saying like the winner of, you know, no disrespect, Conor and Eubank fights Canelo. What happened to rankings?
Yeah, what gives them
getting to the number? You work your bollocks off to get to number one contender, and just because the big money fight comes in, they can leapfrog you.
Yeah. You can't do that on Froch on Fighting without looking at the camera and doing that. The old Bunsen burner. There you go. The old Ricky Gervais. Right, last but not least, how many fans were at Wembley Stadium when I rendered George Groves unconscious? I think you already know this one.
Was it 70, was it?
Trying to upset me now.
Sounded like 120,
Big crowds, wasn't it? Were you one of the 80,000?
I wasn't. I didn't go to that.
I didn't think you was there.
No, I wish I had.
I hope you was watching it.
Yeah, memorable. Yeah, absolutely.
Can you remember where you was watching?
Absolutely.
Was you at home? Was you out? Every bar that had it on, I heard the atmosphere was wicked in all the bars.
Yeah.
Can you not remember? You had that much of a good night, he's forgot.
I can't remember.
Who was you supporting? Who did you think was going to win the rematch after the first one?
I think sometimes, you know, that fighters, you know, fight the fight of their life, and I think George fought the fight of his life the first time round.
Still got done.
And it was, you know, grueling. It was still a grueling fight. It was on top, you know, and everything like that. But I just, you know, I fancied you. I thought, you know, I wouldn't say you had a bad night, you know what I mean, but I think George had his best night, you know, and I think to myself, Carl's going to be better this time, you know what I mean, and you were, to be fair, mate.
Yeah. Perfect, fancied that. Brilliant. Thought we lost some light there, but we didn't know technical issues. Listen, we're going to have to go. You've got a job to do.
I have,
appreciate you talking
me
to
luck,
me. Yeah, good luck, mate. I'm looking forward to it.
Sound
Thanks a lot, Ricky. You take care, yeah? Nice one.